Hey guys, this is Julian, and I'm with the Sports Fitness Experience and Playmaker Strength and Conditioning. Came here today to talk to you about speed development. And one of the biggest misconceptions is that speed is not a skill, it's something that can be taught. Now, natural ability is something that can't be taken away from you. You have that natural ability. If you have that natural ability, you have more chance of being faster, right? Because your natural tendency, your natural speed is there. But speed is a skill that can be taught. So today I want to cover 8 specific skills that you need to execute consistently and properly before you can say reach top end speed. Okay? All of these skills need to be done, say, within the first 3 or 4 seconds of you taking off from the line for you to say properly execute them. Right? So step 1, what we're going to do, when we step at this line, the first thing we want to do is we want to take a big first step. That is one of the toughest things to see, because when we think of big first step, we think of slow. You know, you see the person who really overstrides or anything from there, right? So most of the time to compensate that, if you watch people run, they'll take short, quicker steps. We want the quickness, but we want a big first step in there, because you're going to gain more ground. Speed is about your stride length by your stride frequency. So if I take that big first step out there, I've covered more ground already. Step 2 to help that is to drive your lead arm. Okay? This is going to help with that big first step. Okay? So when I get here, my arms really need to fire out. It's about power. And power in running actually comes from the upper body. The more aggressive I am with my arms, the more my legs are going to move with power. Right there. You never see anybody with big, strong legs who don't move their arms. Okay? So you have to move from there. Step 3 is to come out. It's called a 45-degree angle. And that's it running. If you look at me right now, I'm about 90 degrees right here. 45 degrees comes from here. Okay? And when that angle, what's important on that angle comes from the ankle. It's not at the hip. I'm not running here. I want to be a 45-degree angle from here. And our step 4 will help explain that position that we're talking about. But 45 degrees is your drive phase. You want to be able to drive out from there. If you start off and you come up tall, you've already slowed yourself down. Okay? Step 4, as I said, that will incorporate that, is before that first foot, that big first step comes down, that plant leg or my left leg at the way I stand is going to reach triple extension. Triple extension, if I show you, is my ankle, knee, and hip fully extended, all 3 joints. Right there. What it does is it forms a straight line from my heel all the way up to my head. That's a power position. That's where I generate the most force. If I have any breaks in that, I will lose power. So my knee can't be there, or I can't bend at the waist. I must be in a good power position. Now those first 4 steps to me, if you put those 4 together, that's what incorporates these first couple steps, first 2 to 3 steps right there. Because you can't really do one without the other. I have to drive that lead arm to take the big step. I have to come out at 45-degree angles to take that big step. And I'm going to naturally get to triple extension to get there. Okay? Moving forward in that, we go to step 5. And step 5 comes down to deal with the arms. You want to make sure that you drive your arms or your hands down and back. One of the biggest mistakes made is that people think about running up, as you say you're going forward. But if you drive back, your arm will naturally come back up. So your power has to be driving that arm and that hand down and back. Step 6 is to push the ground down the back, or basically for your foot to land right under you or behind you. We can never land with what's called a positive shin angle, where you're up here. You can't land in front of you, because if you do that, you're naturally, you'll just say you're breaking yourself right there. So I must land right under me or behind me right there. I want to push that ground down the back. So that means if I'm running and I hit this line running, when I come back here, I want to believe that that line is now here, because I've pushed it away. Okay? So make sure you push that ground down and back. That's where you generate your power to go forward. Okay? As we get into the run, those first 6 to 8 steps that you take, you need to have what's called a low heel recovery. Low heel recovery or heel recovery is what does your heel do when you come up behind you? Okay? So what I did right there is what you call a high heel recovery. It's running, it's all the way back. Low heel recovery means you hit that ground and it doesn't come up too high. Right there. You may step over your knee if you have that right there, but that's it. It's not coming too high off the ground. So those first 16 steps have to be low heel recovery. And the last part of this, and this is one of the toughest things to get, and because it's not really doing anything, it's letting your body do what it does naturally. And that's just to unfold naturally. Remember, we come out at 45 degrees, right there. And what you have to do is after you run is just naturally let your body come back up to a tall position where you can run. The two things that people do that really sabotage what they're doing and what they're sprinting is either they'll come out of the block and they'll start and pop straight up, or two, they try to hold that position long. Right? So they're here, or they're down here. And remember I said you can't have power if you broke that triple extension. So right now I have them bent at the waist, but I think I'm staying down. So let your body just come up naturally and go forward from there. Okay? Putting all 8 of those things together is going to take some time.